Okay, guys, we're back. So I'm carrying on discovering these channels. So in case you've missed it, we just did part 1 on the keto channel, Elvis Presley fan on keto, our diet-related health Elvis channel. I'm carnivore diet, I'm keto diet. It's a health diet as well. It fixes you, guys. It fixes you. You have to Google it, look up Dr. Ken Berry. Anyway, so at the moment, I'm trying to understand what is happening with all these AI Elvis related channels. So we've looked at some, if looking at this channel here, if you look, this one's called B-Track Rolling. Yeah. Has 47,000 subscribers, 169 videos. They are posting a lot of videos every day, most days. They're obviously encouraging people to give them super thank yous, to donate money, to get them a coffee, become a member. It's all 100%. It's all about the money. Okay, so I've just played a Priscilla video, which was very bizarre. Just made no sense. Then I started playing rare private footage, which was excellent. Some really good original concert footage. Then we jumped over to rare live footage that had loads, no, rare photos, yeah. That had loads of photos of lovely Lisa Marie. There was Cindy Esposito and her sister were in it. There was quite a few Priscilla ones in there, but they were excellent pictures. So I'm trying to get a feeling for these AI different things. So we're just clicking on different things. So here's an example, The Horrible Lies of Elvis Presley. Let's just click on a bit of that. Now, I've already played some of this.
According to these clicks, isn't here to defend himself.
Let's just,
That's pathetic.
Hang on a minute.
Gay is not an insult, but using it as a weapon to shame someone who isn't here to defend himself, that's pathetic. There's no credible evidence Elvis was gay. He dated women publicly and privately. But more importantly, it wouldn't matter. What does matter is that these channels are using the claim not to explore identity, but to humiliate, slander, and provoke hate. Also claiming Elvis was a racist, a disgusting lie. They're here to degrade. So, who's behind these lies? Many of these channels follow the same pattern. Shocking thumbnails. Clickbait headlines like breaking news, Elvis spotted alive. Wild confessions, fake witnesses, and dramatic voices. No sources, no truth, just views and ad revenue. They don't care about Elvis. They care about attention.
So the funny thing is, guys, is everything that has just been read out to us in that little 30-second clip is what's happening here with this AI channel. So yeah, there's all different things on here, different topics, but ultimately, none of it really is, how can I say it? Is none of this is a hi guys, none of this is done by a fan. In my opinion, none of this is fan related or in support of Elvis, even to defend Elvis. Yes, that particular video, which was sent to me today by a couple of people, it tries to defend Elvis, but the reality is it's just doing it, it's clickbait. It's just saying anything to get attention. So I think it's playing on the love of Elvis. Yeah, we love Elvis. So this particular video is a defending Elvis type video, but it isn't done by a fan. This is just done for money, for clickbait.
They hijack his image, twist his story, and milk his fame, all while calling it entertainment. It's digital grave robbing. You might say, who cares? It's just YouTube. But we should care, because this is about respect.
But the funny thing is, this channel is doing it.
Elvis Presley fought through poverty, served his country, revolutionized music, gave voice to an era. He deserves dignity in death, just like he deserved peace in life. He was hounded by the media while he was alive. Are we really going to let that continue decades after he's gone?
See, the wording is lovely. Let's just listen to a little bit longer, then we'll click on something else.
spectacle that cemented his place as an icon for all time.
See, the footage is beautiful. I don't know what to say. You know, it's all getting. We have to somehow get used to this kind of footage. We love seeing Elvis. It's all been, rebrushed and digitally enhanced. But this is the future at the moment, unfortunately.
Together, they tell the incredible story of a king who not only reclaimed his throne, but then went on to conquer the entire world. The most generous entertainer of all time, who gave most of his fortune away to help and make other people happy.
Thing is, that's actually true. He did. He gave away his fortune to make people happy, to help people.
I searched and found over 100 channels who have this content, and not only disgusting lies about Elvis, but also other singers, musicians, actors, and celebrities. I have 30 channels in my video, from which 3 are, you hear right, Elvis channels with his photo. Unbelievable, but true.
So you get the idea, guys. This one is defending Elvis. Yeah, isn't it? Yeah, it speaks beautifully of Elvis. Now let's go on the same channel. Let's see what else is on here. I'm learning as I go, guys. I'm very interested to know. Right, look at this. Elvis versus Little Richard. Let's just click on the middle of it and see what happens.
Elvis Presley, the king of rock and roll. With a swivel of his hips and a curl of his lip, Elvis became a phenomenon. He was a lightning bolt that took the raw power of R&B and shot it straight into the living rooms of mainstream white America. On the surface, it looked like they were titans clashing for the same crown. The media painted them as natural rivals, the wild, genius originator versus the polished, superstar popularizer.
So I've watched Little Richard interviews. He speaks so well of Elvis. He speaks beautifully about Elvis. Little Richard says Elvis opened the door for entertainers like me. He's talking about black entertainers. Obviously, Elvis popularized this kind of this style of music. Obviously, he was a white entertainer, and then all of the rest of these amazing entertainers, whether it be Little Richard or James Brown, all those types of entertainers suddenly had a green light, so they could go on to have massive success as well.
But that whole story, the one we've been hearing for decades, just falls apart when you hear one startling quote from Little Richard himself.
Now, I listened to Little Richard praising Elvis yesterday. Yeah, let's hear what he's about to say.
To get why Richard's statement was so stunning, you have to understand the world they were living in. The music charts of the mid-1950s were a battleground. Little Richard dropped Tutti Frutti in 1955, a song so raw and racy that the original lyrics had to be cleaned up big time for the public. It was a lightning strike of pure energy that flew up the R&B charts. But just a few months later, Elvis Presley released his own version. Now, this was a common and deeply frustrating practice at the time for black artists. White performers would often record cover versions of their songs, backed by major record labels and getting airtime on radio stations that refused to play the original race records. Their versions would often completely overshadow the source material. Elvis's covers of Tutti Frutti and Long Tall Sally brought those songs to
Yeah, but Jen, you say Little Richard was jokingly upset with Elvis singing Tutti Frutti, but it made him bigger. I agree it made him bigger. But when you say jokingly upset, he wasn't upset, yeah? Is that what you mean?
a massive white audience that Little Richard just couldn't reach at first. So the narrative was simple. Elvis was cashing in on Richard's music. They were two kings fighting for a single throne. Richard was the true innovator, the authentic source of this new sound. Elvis was the handsome, marketable face who made it safe for the masses.
Yeah. So remember, this is artificial intelligence. The narrator is saying his version of stuff. Doesn't mean I agree with any of it. We're just listening to these AI channels, trying to work them out. I'm trying to understand them.
From the outside, it looked like a classic story of appropriation and injustice. And honestly, that story makes perfect sense. It's what you'd expect to hear. Which is why no one was ready for what Little Richard said when he looked back on it all. Years later, long after both men were cemented as legends, someone asked Little Richard about Elvis. You'd expect him to be bitter, right? Maybe a little resentful, or at least have some complicated feelings about it all. Instead, he dropped a line that flipped the entire story on its head. Looking back on that whole era, he said, "I thank God for Elvis Presley. I thank the Lord for sending Elvis to open that door so I could walk down the road, you understand?"
Elvis Presley.
I love him. That's my buddy, my baby. I love him. We are very good friends, and it was a very great loss to the music world. Elvis is one of the greatest performers ever lived in this world, and electrifying, elevated. Oh, he's just, you can't say enough.
Love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Okay, let's listen a bit more. So we're just sort of looking around at these AI channels,
It was
guys.
so counterintuitive, it felt like a puzzle. Why would a pioneer thank the person who covered his songs? Why would a black artist who fought against a segregated industry praise the white artist who seemed to cruise right past him? To get the answer, you have to look past the stage lights and into the harsh reality of 1950s America.
Okay, this is interesting, guys. Let's keep going with it.
Little Richard's gratitude didn't
Let's have a look at this. Rock and Roll, Little Richard, Gene Vincent, Eddie Cochran. It's obviously The Big Show. Lee Gordon presents The Big Show. 1957. It says the first Australian tour.
come from being naive. It came from a sharp, practical understanding of the world he was up against. In the 1950s, America was deeply segregated, and that included the radio waves. There were white stations and so-called race music stations. An artist like Little Richard could own the R&B charts, but couldn't get his original songs played on the mainstream pop stations that reached the massive white teenage audience. And that's where Elvis came in. Elvis was the perfect cultural crowbar to pry that door open. He was a white guy from Mississippi who
I think I agree with that, guys.
genuinely loved and was shaped by black music, gospel, blues, and R&B. When Elvis sang Tutti Frutti, he was acting like a Trojan horse. His version, blasted on national TV and pop radio from coast to coast, introduced the very DNA of Little Richard's music to an audience that might never have heard the original.
So, obviously, when I discovered Elvis when I was a kid, I also discovered all of these people. I loved all rock and roll, not just the upbeat rock and roll. I loved all the ballads. Eventually, I really loved all the Motown stuff, and a bit later on. But anything, all the doo-wop stuff, all the all the love songs, the sort of rock and roll love songs, like there's just so many that I'm trying to remember. I used to sit on my bed playing all these rock and roll singles that I amassed, going to all the secondhand shops.
Little Richard saw this perfectly. He knew Elvis wasn't just making a song popular, he was making a sound popular. He was kicking down the doors of musical segregation. Once Elvis made that wild sound desirable to mainstream white kids, the door was wedged open. Suddenly, radio programmers and record execs, scrambling to meet the demand Elvis had unleashed, started looking for more of this new sound. And
Definitely. Like Soldier Boy. I know Elvis loved Soldier Boy, didn't he? One of my favorite songs, those sort of rock and roll, like, do you remember the film The Wanderers? The songs in that film, I absolutely love the songs in that film. Did any of you like The Wanderers? Just anything back then. Someone mentioned to me a Sylvester Stallone film. I think it was Sylvester Stallone's first film. I'm trying to remember the name of it. Do any of you remember it? That had a rock and roll theme to it. Just all these old American graffiti, obviously later the Fonz, just anything like that appealed to me. So let's just play a bit more, then we're going to jump around on this AI channel, see what we can find.
between Little Richard and Elvis Presley wasn't a simple case of cultural theft. It was a complicated symbiotic relationship that existed inside a deeply unfair and segregated system. Little Richard's statement isn't him excusing that system. It's proof of his brilliant understanding of how to work within it. He was a master strategist.
That's it. Jen, you got it. The Lords of Flatbush. The Lords of Flatbush. All set in a rock and roll background. Right. So we're still just looking around at these this one AI channel called B Track Rolling. So far, actually, we found quite a lot of pretty good stuff. So I still haven't understood yet how these videos are made. I still don't understand it. Look at this. 400 beautifully beautifully made photos. 200 amazing Elvis photos. Yeah, so a lot of it is photos, yeah? Let's see if there's any with a storyline. It's mainly photos. The most flowers sold in one day in US history was the day after Elvis Presley died. I definitely believe that. 30 awesome rare. It's right. So looking at this, so maybe this channel first started by just posting a lot of photos. Let's have a look. All right. So originally, it's not Elvis. So when we go back, it's all about learning how to play the guitar. Okay. So the first video that came out on this channel was 50 amazing Presley pictures. Let's click on it. Obviously, they're all enhanced, aren't they, guys? I'm not keen on enhanced pictures. Let's just click through them. So this is how the channel starts off. Yeah, let's just work through it. I'm trying to understand these channels. So then, as the channel becomes more advanced, let's click on another one. So guys, what do you think about these digitally enhanced pictures? That's a cool picture. Okay. So let's go forward and start looking at when this channel starts to make proper videos rather than so obviously we just watched the Little Richard one. I've already watched the racist one. We did that. We reviewed that the other day. So actually looking at it, it's made 6 ones that are not just pictures, that are videos. The footage ones, actually the rare footage ones are actually very good. Very good. The Priscilla one is ridiculous. Inside the rarest Elvis collection of photos. Let's just click on it. So it's the ones that look more realistic that I prefer. I prefer, but I'm not going to lie, guys. I'm not keen. I'm not keen. So, but just in case you've only just joined us, I'll show you some of the rare footage one, which I actually thought was pretty good. Was pretty good. So there are uses. Let's go on to the shorts and see what happens. I mean, obviously, if it's music, I can't play it. Let me just see.
Come on over, baby. Whole lot of shake.
Actually, no, I can play this because I don't think it's the original like copyrighted version. So let's just see what happens.
Going on. Hey. Baby, you can't go wrong. Oh, thinking, whole lot of shaking going on. Yeah, come on over, baby. We got chicken in the barn. Woo, honey, come on over. We got food by the horn. Oh, thinking, whole lot of shaking going on.
See, that's more like it, the real deal. Now, didn't Jerry Lee Lewis crash into the gates when he was very drunk? And Elvis just said, just ignore him, let him sober up. Let's listen to this one. Come on, let's hear some music. Where we are, let's have a look. There's another one of Jerry Lewis.
Get that bucket hot before you know just what I mean. Cause I'm a baby jamming, but the moon is sticking on the thing and I'm rocking my life away. My name is Jerry Lee Lewis and I'm trying to go here today.
Interesting, isn't it, guys? Let's have a look, see what else he's got. See, this is the bit that I like about these AI channels. He's obviously seems to be a fan of Jerry Lee Lewis. Who else have we got here? Let's listen to Little Richard. I like that. I love that, actually. Who is there? Let's have a little listen to Chuck Berry.
As I was motivating back in town, I saw a Cadillac sign say, no money down. Eased on my brakes, pulled up in the drive, gunned my motor twice. Then I walked inside. The dealer came to me, said, trade in that Ford, I'll put you in a car. They'll eat up the road. Just tell me what you want, and then sign that line. I'll have it brought down to you in 1 hour's time.
God, what a brilliant voice. What a voice. These people, they had fantastic voices. Let's have a look. Let's keep going. Who else have we got here? Let's see if we can find someone different. He seems to be concentrating on Jerry Lee Lewis, Chuck Berry. Let's have a look. He's obviously a Chuck Berry fan, a Jerry Lee Lewis fan, a Little Richard fan. The person who runs this channel, which they're amazing, all of them. I think they're amazing. Oh, Fats Domino. Here we go. Fats Domino. That's a different one. Ooh, but it's Jerry Lee Lewis. Let's just see what happens. All right, they're all in it together.
If it do, I didn't know the place is buzzing. Cantaloupe coming to see each one by the dozen. Listen, star, go hog wild, me oh my oh. You son of a gun, oh, I will fall on the bayou. Hey, jungle line, cross this line, here comes the war. Oh, tonight I'm gonna see my carry on.
But, I mean, that's the guitarist off Rolling Stones, isn't it? Come on, a couple more guys, then I'm gonna go and walk the dogs. But let's see if I can find a different person. So I think we found 4 singers, all of them legends so far. I know Elvis admired all of these people. Let's have a look. It says here, my tribute to Chief Chuck Berry. So I wonder if he started off as a Chuck Berry and a Little Richard channel and then started doing Elvis. I'm learning, guys. Obviously this is very sad, but let's just have a little look at it. Obviously, it brings back some horrible memories, but at the same time, it reminds us just how loved Elvis was. You know, I saw something somewhere that the number of limousines was to do with the book of numerology, a number that signified Elvis's number. Was it 26, 27? I don't know. Was it 17? You tell me, guys. Obviously, we know Elvis was into the book of numerology, wasn't he? So I just read it the other day. So yeah, I think that's it, guys. I'm going to go walk the dogs now, but do you know what I'm starting to realize with these AI videos? There are some uses. Let's look at the playlist. So look, on the playlist, we got Elvis videos, Elvis shorts, rock and roll, Elvis documentaries. Oh, that's interesting. What's on the documentaries one? So private footage. Now we've already watched that. Yeah, so he's only looking at it. He's only made a few documentaries. I think he's only done 6. So it must be quite a new thing for this channel. But this is what my summary is, guys, is that the you know, like the one that says horrifying lies about Elvis, it's a bit silly. The Priscilla glamour lost, ridiculous. I actually thought the Little Richard information was brilliant, was really good. I loved all the different artists that are discussed in that. The racism one, quite good. I've watched that. We reviewed that the other day. But my 2 favorite videos on this AI channel that we're reviewing is the Elvis Presley private footage live on stage. Very good. Excellent. And the Elvis rare footage and never seen before outfits. Very good. Both really good. Live, some of that stage footage, I've never seen it. So I'll just click on it quickly to give you an idea. It was good. This one, the bit I liked. There was...
Thank you, Bob. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. No.
So you just got Elvis being very real. I don't think this will get copyrighted because it's obviously not a record. It's some 8mm footage, isn't it, from a fan? So we can actually play this kind of stuff without being copyrighted. But generally, you pick out the bits you like. Not all bad, not all bad. Some of it ridiculous, but let's just play a bit. I could watch this all day. I could literally sit here all day and just watch this. So that is the bonus of today's live stream on Elvis Presley Long Lost Footage. Watching this brilliant old original 8mm footage of Elvis in concert. Come on, guys. It doesn't get better than that. And I don't think it gets copyrighted. So it means I can actually play it. All right, guys. I'm going for a walk. I may be able to get back on. I'm not sure. We'll see if the wife lets me. Yeah. But if I do come back on, it'll be on Defending Elvis and we'll have a topic. All right, guys. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate all of you coming together. Team Elvis, you rock. Taking care of business. Interesting AI footage.